Stop right there. If you're sitting there every single morning, reaching into your medicine cabinet, pulling out a handful of sugar-coated pills, capsules that reek of chemicals, and you still don't feel any better, then you need to hear this loud and clear. There is a massive industry getting filthy rich off your pain and your fear. They don't want you to get healthy. They want you dependent. They want you coming back to that pharmacy counter every single month, obediently opening your wallet, believing that those shiny plastic bottles are your only option. It is a legalized con job. But Mother Nature doesn't sell medicine on an installment plan. She plays by a different set of rules: time. Long before these corporations existed, people knew how to grow their own health straight from the soil. They planted things that, once they take root, silently manufacture compounds more powerful than anything you can buy in a store, year after year after year, completely free of charge. Garden Center Point is here today to expose 25 plants in the permanent medicine orchard, the treasure you should have owned a long time ago. But here's the brutal truth. These plants don't wait for anybody. They demand time. Some of them demand decades. Your hesitation today is a gift to the people selling you pills. The slower you move, the richer they get. Inside this list, I'm going to show you a root that, if you plant it today, 3 years from now, you will have something that makes those pricey pain relievers completely useless. And the number one spot, an ancient tree that the chemical peddlers absolutely despise, because once it matures, you won't need their drugstore at all. Don't go anywhere. And if you are sick and tired of being played for a fool, subscribe to Garden Center Point right now. Let's tear this scam apart together. Number 25. Mint. You ever get that bloated, uncomfortable feeling after a meal and run out to buy those digestive tea bags? That is exactly what they want you to do. Meanwhile, right in your backyard, or just a simple pot, mint grows like a maniac and doesn't cost you a dime. Those leaves are loaded with menthol, an essential oil that goes straight to work on the smooth muscles of your gut, easing stomach spasms within minutes. This is not a plant, this is a survival machine. You don't need any gardening talent because even if you try to kill it, it won't die. But you have to lock it up in a container because if it escapes into the ground, it will conquer everything. Give it morning sun, afternoon shade, moist but well-draining soil, and it thrives from freezing zone 3 to blazing zone 11. Too easy. But don't think mint is enough, because the next plant throws a real punch at a lazy digestive system. Number 24. Chives. Chives get dismissed as some cheap garnish you sprinkle on soup, but the truth is it's loaded with allicin, a sulfur compound that can help your blood flow smoothly and keep your pressure in a healthy range. The very things people shell out hundreds of dollars a month for, chives do for free. It's a reliable perennial, dies back every winter, then punches through the soil again in spring, stronger than ever. All you need is full sun, average garden soil, just don't let the roots sit in water, and it'll live forever. But if you think chives are impressive, look at the next plant, the sworn enemy of every germ lurking in your kitchen. Number 23. Oregano. Those antibacterial essential oils are being sold at criminal markups, yet oregano grows wild like a weed. Its leaves contain carvacrol and thymol, two natural compounds so powerful they can disinfect on contact. Before the modern medicine cabinet even existed, people just crushed oregano leaves and pressed them onto wounds. You want it to be potent? Stop watering it so much. Stop feeding it. Just neglect it under scorching sun, in sandy, bone-dry soil from zone 5 to 10, and the oils inside those leaves will turn intensely concentrated. But oregano still has to bow to the next plant, the one our grandparents called the lung's best friend. Number 22. Thyme. Cold season hits, those dry, hacking coughs start torturing you, and once again you reach for your wallet to buy syrup full of sugar and artificial dyes. Stop. Thyme, with its signature thymol oil, has been used for centuries to open up the airways. A handful of fresh leaves steeped in boiling water, just breathing in that steam will start to free your lungs. It survives stubbornly in rocky, poor soil, under full sun from zone 4 to 9. Water it just a trickle. The harsher the conditions, the more powerful the medicine. In stark contrast to that ruggedness, the next plant carries a mission to wake up a brain that's becoming foggy. Number 21. Sage. They want you to believe that memory loss is just getting old, and that you have to buy expensive supplements to save yourself. Lies. Sage contains rosmarinic acid and thujone, which help inhibit the breakdown of acetylcholine, the key neurotransmitter responsible for memory. Our grandparents had a saying, "Eat sage and live long." That's not superstition, that's science. It needs full sun, dry and well-drained soil, hates wet feet, lives from zone 4 to 8, and will actually turn woody at the base after many years. But sage isn't alone. It has an ally that's even more powerful at stimulating circulation to the brain. Number 20. Rosemary. If sage protects memory, rosemary pumps blood straight to the brain. Students in ancient Greece literally wore it on their heads during exams. But the biggest mistake is watering it like a typical ornamental plant. Rosemary is a child of the Mediterranean. Its roots breathe air. You want it to live for years and develop deep medicinal value? Plant it in gravelly, rocky soil, under the most intense sun and whipping winds you can find. Below zone 7, you have to grow it in a pot and bring it indoors over winter. Let it live 5–10 years, and you'll have something no pharmacy can sell you. Number 19. Lavender. Can't sleep? They'll sell you sedatives. But long before those existed, people simply tucked a dried sprig of lavender under their pillow. The linalool and linaloyl acetate in its oil act directly on the central nervous system, creating a state of natural relaxation, no addiction attached. But lavender is a demanding queen. It requires alkaline soil, bone-dry conditions, drainage so fast it's almost offensive, and blazing sunlight. Overwatering is a death sentence. In zones 5 through 9, it'll become a giant, fragrant bush that releases scent every time you brush against it. But even more surprising, there's another plant that doesn't just sedate you. It soothes a stomach tied in knots by stress. Number 18. Lemon balm. Stress is a slow-acting poison eating you from the inside, and the pill pushers love that. Lemon balm contains rosmarinic acid, which calms your enteric nervous system, your so-called second brain in the gut. It's like a warm, comforting hug from the inside. It belongs to the mint family, which means it also grows like a madman. Lock it in a pot, give it morning sun and afternoon shade, water it moderately. But if you want something even more practical, something that can stop bleeding the moment you cut yourself in the garden, here it is. Number 17. Yarrow. Historically, this was the soldier's plant. When wounded with no doctor in sight, they took yarrow leaves, crushed them, and packed the wound to stop the bleeding, thanks to a compound called acetylene. Today, people treat it like some roadside wildflower. It's one of the toughest perennials on Earth. It thrives in barren, depleted soil, under direct sun, with absolute drought tolerance from zone 3 to 9. Scatter the seeds once, and it will stay with you forever. However, if yarrow belongs to soldiers, the next plant is a gift for anyone who wants natural, drug-free sleep. Number 16. Roman chamomile. Do not confuse this with the annual German variety. Roman chamomile is a perennial ground cover that releases a sweet apple scent every time you step on it. The apigenin in its flowers binds to receptors in your brain, inducing natural drowsiness. Just plant it in gentle sun, in well-drained soil, and don't overdo the nitrogen fertilizer. You'll have a healing carpet of sleep medicine, free of charge, for years to come. But if you think chamomile is only about sleep, you haven't met the hated weed that is actually a savior for your liver, an organ drowning in chemicals. Number 15. Dandelion. Millions of dollars in herbicide advertising have been spent to make you hate this plant. Why? Because it's too powerful, and it's completely free. Dandelion root is packed with inulin and taraxacin, which gently stimulate your liver function and help cleanse your blood. The young leaves are loaded with potassium and vitamins, blowing those cheap multivitamin tablets out of the water. It grows in every soil, self-seeds relentlessly, and drives its taproot meters deep. You don't even need to plant it, you just need to stop spraying poison on it. But there's another plant that also gets ripped out of the ground, yet it holds the secret for those aching, screaming joints. Number 14. Stinging nettle. Getting stung by nettle hurts, but this fearsome plant is one of the most blood-nourishing greens on the planet, loaded with iron, magnesium, and natural histamine. For those tired, swollen knees and sore finger joints, nettle tea can bring genuine relief, without those sugar-coated pain pills. It demands moist, nitrogen-rich soil and a bit of shade. Wear thick gloves when you plant it and harvest it, but once you have a patch established, you have a free yearly supply of joint medicine. In total contrast to its roughness, the next plant reaches into your dreams. Number 13. Mugwort. If nettle heals the body, mugwort touches your sleep and your dreams. The thujone in it helps relax muscles and warm the lower abdomen, especially useful for those with a cold, sluggish digestion. It's a perennial that is practically unkillable. All you need is one root cutting, bury it in sun or partial shade, and it will spread into a large, aromatic bush. Across many cultures, dried mugwort leaves are placed under the pillow to invite deeper, more vivid dreams. But now, we're going deeper into the garden, to a root that demands at least 2 years of your patience, a test the pharmaceutical peddlers don't want you to pass. Number 12. Valerian. Chronic insomnia, and you're dependent on that stuff that leaves you groggy and zombie-like the next morning? Valerian has been used since the time of ancient Rome. The valipotriates and valerianic acid in its root act on GABA receptors in the brain, slowing racing thoughts and lulling you into deep, restorative sleep. No nasty side effects. But this is a perennial that needs deep, loose, moist soil. Plant it once, then wait until the 2nd or 3rd year to harvest the roots. That patience will be tested even further with the next plant. Number 11. White willow. Before the lab-created pain relievers were ever cooked up, humans chewed on willow bark to ease their aching backs and pounding heads. White willow bark contains salicin, the natural precursor to what the pharmaceutical industry later synthesized, packaged, and sold back to you at 100 times the price. White willow is a fast-growing perennial tree that needs moist, even soggy soil and full sun from zone 4 to 9. Wait a few years for the bark to thicken, then cut young branches, strip the bark, dry it, and you have a personal pain relief stash for many years ahead. Number 10. Feverfew. Persistent, nagging headaches that make you want to lie in a dark room. Instead of leaning on those tablets, look at this tiny daisy-like plant. Parthenolide inside it helps prevent the constriction of blood vessels in the brain, the culprit behind so many miserable migraines. It's a short-lived perennial, but self-seeds aggressively, loving gentle sun and well-drained soil from zone 5 to 9. The flowers are tiny, but the power is not. Number 9. St. John's wort. This is the plant the pharmaceutical industry looks at with jealous eyes. Hypericin and hyperforin in its blazing yellow flowers can lift your spirits and push away the dark clouds hanging over your mind. It requires poor, depleted soil, scorching sun, and you have to wait until the 2nd year when the bush is mature enough to give you a massive harvest of blooms. Soak those flowers in olive oil and you'll get a deep red oil, the ancient remedy for both skin and the soul. Number 8. Aloe vera. You're paying a premium for aloe gel in plastic bottles? Meanwhile, the older an aloe plant gets in its pot, the denser and more potent the gel inside its leaves becomes. A 4-year-old aloe has thick, plump leaves bursting with ace-mannan, which soothes burns, cuts, and irritated skin almost instantly. It's a succulent perennial and the enemy of overcare: sandy soil, a terracotta pot, very little water, and plenty of indirect light. In cold zones, it must live indoors. Number 7. Turmeric. How much money have you thrown away on those golden curcumin capsules? Yet fresh turmeric root from your own garden is a biological lockbox that requires time to unlock. Curcumin, when combined with healthy fats and black pepper, can help your body fight the low-grade, smoldering inflammation that's eating away at your knees and knuckles every single day. Turmeric is a tropical perennial. It needs 8 to 10 frost-free months, and the longer you leave it in the ground, the bigger and more potent the rhizomes become. Loose, rich, well-draining soil, heavy watering, and heat from zone 8 and above. Number 6. Ginger. While turmeric fights inflammation, ginger is the warrior against nausea and internal cold. The gingerols and shogoals in fresh ginger root can warm your digestive system and banish that queasy feeling within minutes. To get truly medicinal-grade roots, you need at least a year of patience, and if you let it grow as a perennial in a large pot brought indoors for winter, you'll have an endless supply. Partial shade, moist, warm soil. But this is just the buffer zone. From this moment on, every plant I'm about to name is a timeline milestone, and if you delay, your own health will pay the price. Number 5. Echinacea. They sell you echinacea syrup at insane markups every flu season. But what they don't tell you is that the root of a 3-year-old echinacea plant is the real treasure. The alkylamides in mature roots kick your immune system into high gear, helping it respond faster to seasonal invaders. You can't get that from a 1-year-old plant in a plastic nursery pot. You have to plant it in well-drained soil under full sun and then forget about it for at least 3 summers. Only then will the root be large and dense enough with medicine to harvest in autumn. Zones 3 to 9. But that 3-year wait is nothing compared to what the next plant demands. Number 4. Elderberry. If you could only pick one shrub to protect your family through the long winter, it has to be elderberry. Its berries are packed with anthocyanins and vitamin C, proven to help your body shorten the misery of common seasonal illness. But they lie to you. They sell you a tiny stick in a pot and let you believe you'll get berries that same summer. The brutal reality is that it takes 3 to 4 years for a mature, sprawling elderberry bush in full sun with moist soil from zone 3 to 9 to deliver those heavy clusters of dark, glossy berries. You must plant at least 2 different varieties for cross-pollination. And remember, never eat them raw. Cook them down into syrup and you'll have a deep purple treasure for your entire household. Now, I need you to pause for a moment. If you are truly fed up with being manipulated by chemical peddlers and supermarket shelves, don't just watch this and move on. Hit that subscribe button for Garden Center Point right now. We are going to keep exposing these scams and handing you the weapons to defend yourself. The final 3 plants ahead demand extraordinary patience, and they are the absolute nightmare of the people profiting off your sickness. Number 3. Hawthorn. This is the bodyguard of the heart, what healers across Europe and Asia relied on for thousands of years before there was any such thing as a heart pill. The flavonoids and oligomeric procyanidins in its berries, leaves, and flowers help dilate blood vessels gently, allowing blood to flow more freely and reducing the silent burden on your heart. But this is a cold-loving perennial tree, covered in sharp thorns, and it grows slowly. A hawthorn tree can take 4 to 5 years before it even begins to flower and set fruit. Full sun, well-draining soil, and it laughs at freezing winds from zone 4 to 7. Planting one today is a gift you leave for yourself 5 years from now, when your heart will desperately need a real ally. Number 2. Astragalus. If hawthorn guards the heart, astragalus is the architect of your endurance. This is one of the most tightly held secrets of ancient Eastern practice, and now it grows quietly in American gardens. The polysaccharides in astragalus root support your immune system at the cellular level and boost vitality in an aging body, something no synthetic multivitamin can replicate. But to get a mature medicinal-grade root, you must wait 4 to 5 years. It requires sandy, dry, absolutely sharp-draining soil and full sun from zone 5 to 9. Every passing year, the root swells and concentrates more healing compounds. Don't think you can wait until your body starts screaming for help. By then, 5 years is an unaffordable luxury. Number 1. Ginkgo biloba. And here it is, the final boss, the true nightmare of the supplement industry. Ginkgo is a living fossil, having survived hundreds of millions of years. You see those pricey ginkgo extract bottles on the shelf, right? They want you to believe only they can deliver the goods for your memory and brain circulation. But the leaves of a mature ginkgo tree contain ginkgolides and bilobalide in a form more intact than anything inside a plastic capsule. And if you want to harvest the nuts, the most prized part, you will wait 20 to 30 years. This is why you must start today. Plant a male tree in full sun, deep, well-drained soil from zone 3 to 8. It will survive any pollution, any abuse. Every single fan-shaped leaf is a medicine factory for your brain. They want you dependent on those overpriced capsules, but ginkgo is nature's free, permanent answer. Every year you don't plant it is another year you remain a debtor to the drug industry. Don't let that happen. Those are 25 plants in the permanent medicine orchard, the treasure that should have been yours all along. Time waits for no one, and neither do the aches, the sleepless nights, or the fatigue of aging. Don't let another year slip by while you stare at an empty garden and a medicine cabinet stuffed with plastic bottles. Garden Center Point will always be here, tearing down the lies and helping you rebuild true self-reliance from the soil up. If this video was valuable to you, subscribe to this channel immediately. We are about to drop a special video exposing 7 toxic plants that people are unknowingly growing inside their homes right now. Things silently draining your energy. You do not want to miss it. Hit that follow button, ring the bell, and I will see you in the next video on Garden Center Point.